technically it's where you have a little bit of a weakness. Yes. Yeah, I think what we do is we chat it up. We talk about what I saw in the tournament. We talk about some of the stuff that you sent me, some views I have on, I've been taking some notes on you also throughout some of the groups. Get some of that stuff on the board, just, I don't know, just move through the conversation and then talk about maybe 2 or 3 things to work on. Hey, first things, bro, 4-5. That's where it's at, you know what I mean? Like, you're playing a good, the biggest thing is like, when we start to go through a big unpacking, you play a big tournament, you're up a level, so the mind's firing and you're excited about that. The tendency can be, and I know you're not gonna go through this, but is to want to rewrite things, you know what I mean? Everything's on track. So first off, everything's on track. Looks nice, things can improve. So what did I see in the match? In my mind, I didn't understand why you didn't immediately start aggressing on his backhand. It was the weakness was there. It was, and if you looked at that first set, every first ball, like one of the things that you want to get better at, right, is like you're doing so much work on your game, and I think as you do so much work on your game, it makes sense. You're so much in yourself, right? We also have to get to that part where we're observing our opponent, right? And part of it, that's where I also want to say, hey, is there another jewel there, right? But I think it's part of concentration. Part of concentration is observation, and to me, immediately in the first 3 games, I didn't see his backhand. It was the 3rd game that I go, oh shit, the guy's got a one-hand backhand. Now he threw some slices. He's gonna cover it with slice. But every one of your returns in the first few games, every first ball off your racket in a rally, and every neutral ball went to his forehand. So I think that was the play. The play was to start, and whether you change that in the following sets, it looks like towards the end of the first set, towards the end of the first set, you started to get there and you made a run, and then it went back to balls there. So I would say when the matches are even or somebody's better, we're looking to get our anchors into somebody, right? And like you say, how do I do that, right? Part of it is we have to be observing our opponent. I don't know, it seemed like it's like when you watch somebody play Dimitrov or you watch somebody play Tsitsipas, that's the anchor. We're gonna anchor into that side, and it looked like he was there and available for you. Whenever you did go to that side, you won the point or he went into slice, and whenever you approached to that side, by the way, that's the other thing I'm gonna say, your volleys were awesome. Come up more. Like to me, what I left with the first set was 3 things, okay, outside of some minor things. 1, should have been attacking that side immediately all the time. First ball on the return should have been there, first ball in the rally. If you get any neutral balls, of course we gotta spread the court, right? He starts to guard that side. So what opens up if he starts to guard that side? Well, forehand angle too. It's something you've been working on, that angle, you know, he starts to play into that side, feeling that you're actively working on that side, then that shot opens up. But I would have been there, and coming to the net, you were like 90% successful of coming to the net. So if you needed to, watch that?
I got like towards more in the second set.
Okay, he started to feel, which side were you approaching to? Always backhand. Okay, so he might have got some rhythm on it. That's also the danger. You start finding some space. Yeah, those little one-handers can do that, especially if you're approaching with some low balls. So maybe I also watched that, but I'll tell you from the first set, I think he should have been there more. He should have been there immediately. First balls in the rallies, first for the return, just so many balls. It just looked like you were playing through that. So we want to be, so that was a huge thing, I think.
The other thing too is like, that I'm getting on the drop here. I'm like, oh, I really want to hit that down the line, but then I kept hitting the tape.
Yeah, go for him. That's fine. There's no problem there. You can't, I'm not saying every ball there. The better you get, the more you can even isolate a stroke. But you guys, hey, have a great day. I mean, you just watch again. Let's go watch like a Dimitrov match. They're going to go there, but they're going to spread the court. They're going to take a ball right here and play it safe. It's no problem, right? You've got to pick and choose. What you need more, though, is this like pulsating, glaring weakness there that you're really trying to attack. And it just seemed like it was there for the taking for you. I knew you probably smelled it, and you didn't go there. So I would say, I will. And
See if I'm still not even there, but yeah.
Great. That's something too. So great. So that would be my biggest thing. That, and felt like the volleys were there. I would say come forward more. Maybe if you start again. Unfortunately, I only watched the first set. But if things started to flip, then there's another conversation. But you were in the moment of that first set, and in the moment of that first set, it looked like you could have approached more, and you could have come to that backhand side more if you were looking for answers. Now, so again, we get to that point where like, okay, I feel good about what I'm doing, and I'm going to keep doing it. Or do we need to come up with a tactical change, right? Where we are less the boss and more the worker. The other thing I would say is, and this is a challenge for all of us, aggression levels in your tournament matches are not the same as when they're in practice, right? And it's almost true for everybody.
Well, I don't send you the matches where I am that aggressive.
Okay.
Because I just destroy.
Yeah.
Like, but it's really hard for me to be aggressive when I'm getting to a drop that's like right
Yeah. When you're getting a lot of short slices from this
like,
guy.
left hand
Yeah. Totally. As long as you're like, it seemed to, it was a minor thing, but it just seemed like you started with a lower level of aggression than I'm used to seeing from you. So more of a, yeah. So just nothing. It's probably a nothing other than we just want to continue to watch if there's a substantial disparity between the way that we're playing the tournament and the way that we're practicing.
That guy plays similar to Dan.
Yeah.
And that like with a lot of
low balls, and it's tough to get into that aggressive. Yeah.
And then like then I do get a good ball, and my timing's somewhat off.
Yeah.
So I'm not feeling too.
Yeah.
And it's like,
well, great. Then if it's that guy, it's that guy. You know, if that's that guy that kind of undermines your ability to create the aggression that I see when you're kind of playing a more higher level rhythmic player, that's no problem. And we just keep our eye on that. Just, I mean, I don't think it is a thing with you, but just looked like aggression levels were a little bit low for what potentially they could have been.
And that was like a thing I wanted to ask you about. Was like, is there a way to be aggressive on this ball?
Well, like a low, yeah, so let's talk about that ball specifically. So let's finish, like, again, I just want to unpack piece by piece. I thought, again, you're playing well. I even took notes on it, so let's just bang out the notes. I mean, the big message, dude, is to keep going. You know, it really is the big message. You know what I mean? Like, I'm loving what I'm seeing. In that match, it just seemed that like as simple as it is, we're looking for simple. Like when we are looking, and there's something else you asked me, like how do we tactically change, right? Isn't it? What was your question on that? Just like yeah, like what do we look for in our opponent?
How do I do it?
Yeah. That's how. I mean, I think we got to be observing what they're doing good and where you're winning points and where they're failing. You're an observation of where they're missing and where you're winning points and where they're winning points. And as you start to observe that, you start to put your priority on the things that are working and take the priority off the things that aren't working. The other side of that is this. I think also, as you play more matches and you become a more seasoned player, you're gonna have like a list of things that you do when things aren't working. What I would tell you too is your slice is floating a little bit. So what we want to do, just on a technical level, we want to get some more like penetration on your slice. I thought you're slicing well. It's just there's some floating nature to it, and I've been noticing it in group too. And I think the answer to that is that we want to be working on all these different levels so that we get the hand to be more textured and can penetrate more, because you're still, to me, getting a lot of like looks like this, sort of that blocking slice where the hand comes on the inside of the ball when you're under pressure and in match play. So we just want to keep working on the different levels and get more penetration on that slice. I would say with what I saw with him too is like you sliced his slice too much. Now maybe because some of his balls were low, but we want to use the slice sparingly, right? Yeah. We want to use that, you want to keep that hand on the racket as much as you can and continue to do damage. I think you, as a player moving forward, is a aggressive player that wants to be dictating points. And so we just want to watch that that the slice is getting weighted right in our matches and in our play, and that we are not using it just because somebody is slicing to us.
Fair enough. I noticed that too.
In that set, it was just that backhand stuff. It's the first ball, it's the first return, it's the first neutral ball that you had a chance to make that impact. Now, what do you think about all that? Any thoughts, or did that help you at all?
It helps, yeah, it helps. I think like the thing about the backhand, like about getting to his backhand is like I feel like I don't quite have the skill to do that.
Yes.
Like Dan, thankfully I get to play against Dan. He's a great person.
Yeah, he's got a much weaker backhand. Isolating that backhand side is going to come in handy forever, exactly. Because there's so many guys who are, it's even the modern game. The modern game is built on big forehands, and you've got guys looking for it, and that's the focus of their game. And so starting to build that pattern is important to you. I think even if you're not comfortable there, you could have done a lot more, like especially just on that first ball, right? Just like a neutral or a return. So. Cool. I think short forehands, let's get into it. Let's work on your approach a little bit into your backhand volley. So let's get some stuff going. I hope that stuff helped on the match play. I mean, it's like, that's what I'm saying, like, there's no like real reinvent. It's just continuing to polish, and it looked like you played a good match to me, outside of kind of missing an opportunity to get anchored in on that guy's backhand side. Let's work more on your backhand volley, okay? So let's go with the short approach shots, where you get to work on your forehand approach shot that we're talking about, and then we come up and let's work a backhand volley into that deep space. You know, I was gonna tell you, sometimes on the forehand, I think you're getting there on the forehand. Sometimes when I watch you from the side, the balls that you're fraying on, it's just like the lock back isn't enough, right? The rotate, like if this is the setup here, just sometimes you're still a little bit chest on the ball, and that's, I think, often when you get a little bit of a fray off the side of it. So anything on a tactical level, it's just like technical level, continue to make sure that you're setting a full rotation on that forehand. You're pocketing that shoulder, that racket back in that shoulder position so that you can capture the ball well. You know, even before we do approaches, let's just do short forehands, man. Let's just crack balls both ways, okay? Ready, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Cool, let's go just this way for a second. That's it, that's it. Cool, good, you're getting there. Use this one too as the one where you really feel, one, the continuation of your energy into that channel, and then two, yeah, just making sure that, I think it's that energy that's gonna allow you also to capture it better and not kind of have that little bit off the side of the ball. Look that you've diminished over time, but it's always been a little bit, there's still a taste of it in there. Let's go, energy through that. That's it, let's go, energy through it, let's go, come on. Better, that's it, come on. Capture it with the hand, under, up, and over. There you go, come on. That's it, let's go. Energy through, that's it. The one before was just perfect. As you go back and look at it, it's like energy through, but then also making sure that there's a clean capture of that hand and that there's not, I don't know, that it's complete. That last one had a little something. The one before it was completely clean.
I don't know what that is.
It's hand pronation. It's a cleanliness of hand pronation through the finish. Just sometimes you're on it, and at the end it's just you're not encapsulating. Think of it this. Here's the ball. We've got to encapsulate the ball with that pronation. But I think it goes hand in hand also with that delivery of energy into that space. No, under, up, and over. Come on, over this ball. There it is. Let's go over this ball. That's it. Come on. Really focus on this moment. You're there, bro. It's nothing. Look at again. It's just levels too. You're on your way to improve so much, but it's this moment right here, okay? It's that over the ball moment, right? It's that you do a great job of coming up. It is this moment here of just maintaining like that capture through. It's a very small nuance, but it's that capture through that line, yeah. Over the ball. There you go, come on. Now I want you to reset the mind, that's it. I'll reset the mind though. Because I think also where we find this the best is that when you're thinking about your energy down the line. So instead of thinking about the hand capture here, think more about the energy projection through that road, and let's see how it looks there. Let's go, come on. Let's go through it. There you go, come on, come on. Yeah, watch me on this. Yeah. Get through it, get the hand through it. Come on, let's go, right through it, let's go, attack it. Yeah, you're massaging it too much, let's go, through it. There you go, come on, here, through it. But I'll tell you this, I don't know that we completely unpull, look at, it's a good shot, but it's not exactly what you want yet. Maybe you dropped the head too much, right? Maybe it needs to be a little bit more through the ball, okay? So, but the point is this, what we know is this shot, your short forehand into this shot, it's one of your weaker shots, right? And we talk about like, hey, one pattern that you need to improve on is your ability to attack that side. And you can see you got so many short balls in that match, and where'd you go? You went to a strong suit because you're not that comfortable coming into this side. So that to me, out of everything we talked about too, is a marker right now. Now we're having some sort of like view of like a place of improvement. Let's get improved on that short ball into that space, because so often it's gonna be a play in tennis. And if you're not comfortable attacking that side, then we gotta improve it. Let's go. That's it. Think more here, more like through. Maybe you're dropping the head a little bit too much, but I just think it's energy and hand pronation. There you go, that's it, come on. right through it. There you go, come on, right through it. Good, that's nice, I like that one. Now watch your rotation, deepen the rotation. Yeah, it's probably, your rotation's fine on that. Just, I don't wanna like get in there and like get you going, doing anything weird. Let's just keep with the energy projection and the cleaning of the handwork. That's it, come on, through it. And if we look back, good, dude, have a frustrating lesson too. You know what I mean? You deserve some along the way. That's the game, that's the name of the game, okay? Is that, don't worry, man. Again, I'm impressed with you as a player and a person. You're rocking it. This needs work, you can feel it. Let's do a whole bunch on it. The day that I thought you were the most successful on it was the day that you were really focused on pushing your energy through it, right? You got that short ball, here I am, and it's a projection of energy through. If we look at the symptoms of what happens, right? There's just that cleanliness of pronation isn't there in this direction, right? You know what I like is after our conversation, now again, I hope it helped in the beginning. I hope some of what we talked about helped. I mean, it was nothing too aha other than there was a pattern there that you didn't look like you played. But what we come from this is I think you got to work on directing into this space more, right? And I think also we look at it, technically it's where you have a little bit of a weakness. So inside out forehands into this space, short forehands into this space, those should be things that you work on. Let's go. Better, let's go. Yeah, you keep going with the energy stuff, right through that road. Let's go. Good, let's go. Better, way better. What you're looking for when you work on this, yes, I think you just gotta bring it into the fingertips a little bit more. Make sure, what we're looking for is, yes, two things. Energy projection through, which you're showing me much better. And then just that cleanliness of pronation where I think where the ball comes a little bit more into the fingertips for you, right? And you get, yes, and it's revealed by just like a cleaner result. Nice, come on. Now the one before is yes, let's go. Stay on the one before, let's go right through it. There you go, there you go. Come on, you're on it right now. Let's go, stay on that. Yeah, a little bit off the side on that one. So hit at the pace level that lets you find these two things, energy delivery and cleanliness of pronation. You're starting to have a batch that you're finding it. That's it, right there, come on. Nice, come on. Energy, come on, energy through that road. That's it, come on, energy through that road. See if you can put a little bit more in your fingertips. Yes, let's go, energy and fingertips. Good, let's do a few more, and then we'll just touch on a few things today. If anything, we've opened up something important, right? We've opened up this shot needs to improve. Your ability to heavily target this side needs to improve, because you did, I think, recognize in that match that there was something there, but you weren't comfortable doing what needed to be done, which I think is twofold. One, we have to be uncomfortable in those situations. The more you level up, the more, that's what's also good about you getting into 4-5 is like, in 4-0, you were the boss and you could just be the boss all the time, and so you weren't in as many situations. I think it's the same thing when you come here, and I have some hired gun here at the top, right? You haven't been in as many situations where you gotta come up with answers. And when you got to come up with answers, it doesn't always feel good. It feels like you're carrying a backpack of shit, and you have to carry that backpack. You have to carry that backpack across the line. And it's the people who are willing to carry mental backpacks and tactical backpacks with them are the people who keep striving. And so part of it is a sensation that you have to get used to. And part of it is you have to get better at your collection of things that you're going to be doing. And so what I would tell you, one is, so as we look at it, one, we need to be better at observing our opponent, right? And I think you're actually pretty good at it. Two, you want to start building a database of what are the tactical answers I go to personally, right? Like a guy like me, I told you some of my tactical answers, I'm going to pick up aggression. I almost always is a tactical answer for me. isolate stroke. I've got my handful. I'm gonna start serving a volume. I've got my handful of things that I start to do more. Very rarely is it get more conservative, right? Some people it is though, like just heavy targets. Sinner's got very good by getting more conservative, even though he's a killer, but just through more cross-court heavy targets, right? Large targets. So I would also be doing that mentally, is just start thinking, okay, what is my, if being the boss isn't working, what are things that I like to cycle through? Part of it is observing your opponent. You don't know what to cycle through till you know what's working with that person. Okay, this needs to improve. Yeah, you gotta keep capturing it. There it is, come on, capture that ball with your hand. There. I just felt like at the end you were better. At the end there was like, so that clean versus like a little, yeah, that one was good. That like, just like that, again, to me it's energy, direction, but also that cleanliness of capture. So you might have to put a little bit more, like what happens too with you is that everything comes off a little bit, right? The head comes off, the body comes off, the energy comes off, but the eyes come off, and that leads to that little fray across the ball. So like really capture it with the hand the whole way through the finish, the whole way through the pronated finish. That's it, come on, through the energy too. You know, I was just thinking. Okay, good, I like this. Because this has been a mild thing. I mean, it's for, as you continue to improve your forehand, right? And so one thing I said, well, maybe the rotation's not deep enough. I see it sometimes in some of your shots where it's just like you little chest on and that's when you, but also maybe the contact's a little far in front, forcing that. So maybe the contact for you is here and you're a little bit up here, and it's an idea. Maybe work on your placement of your contact, bring it out and back a little bit to see whether that allows you that cleaner capture. Under, up, and over. Cool. Is it the answer? I'm not sure. You know, like a mild adjustment in terms of your contact. I think probably keep working with your energy and your handwork, and that's gonna fix itself in some respect. But you wanna do a handful more? Yeah. I think you're having a lot of really nice ones. You've had a handful of tasty ones, and then you've had a bunch where you got that little buzz, that little noise in it, right? Okay, come on, clean energy work. So again, I'm gonna hit your balls. I think what's important though is clarity on the conversation moving forward, right? Like that's why I was like, that talk earlier, I liked it, but sometimes I'm like, did anything come out of it? So I think something did, I hope. But clarity, like I'm looking for energy delivery through that place, right? And cleanliness of that pronation through the finish, right? Where you're here and there's no bit of noisiness off the side of the ball. Now, over that ball, come on, through it. There you go, come on, under, up, and over. Nice. It's pretty good. I like it. I mean, to me, that's an improvement on the typical ball that you have. Still, I'm going to keep my eye on it because still, aesthetically, it's not 100% where we want it into the future, right? And whether that... No, there was a handful that looked tasty, but there's just still that some where I'm just like, maybe it's a little bit contact positioning, maybe it's just a little bit, again, well, it's not bad, it's just there's this, you can see like when I do mine, right? Just like there's this cleanliness that sometimes on your pronation, it's lacking, it's like, if this is the cleanliness here, right? You like a little bit off the side, a little bit, it's just not, the ball's not, here's the ball, it's just not encapsulated inside that pronation as cleanly as it can be, and as cleanly as it will be. It could just be reps. Let's go like 5 more, but then I think this is a great, if anything, we just do shitloads of these, because what you and I are gonna have is what we have and we've had along the way. Moments of aha, moments of, okay, oh wait, oh, boom, boom, okay, boom. Now it's behind us, we're doing it, okay? So we're gonna just keep a bunch of numbers through here. Just keep it until it's clean, man. think about turning your hand over the ball. I want you to think about turning your racket frame over the ball, like that moment right there. Better. That's it, come on, right over the top of it. And the reason I say that, as you work on this, and we're gonna put a pin in it. Yes, there's good ones. Because to me, it's right at that moment where it starts to fray. It's right at this moment where it should be captured. Like, of course you've already made contact, but it's captured. It's right at that moment where it looks like you're here versus you should have been here, right? So it's that, so maybe focusing on that moment of working of that pronation where you've come under and you're over the ball, maybe that helps you get a grip on this a little bit more. Let's do like 5 more. You gotta go get it though. Energy still, come on. Energy and hand over. It's pretty good. Here's the thing, it's pretty good. It's not great yet. You want it great? Have your mind's eye on it. We know that. Is it that the rotation has to deepen? Is it that the contact needs to come out, rotation deepens and the contact comes out a little bit to get a cleaner capture? Or is it just that you need to improve that moment of contact, right? It's, to me, there's some places for you to place your mind.
What do you think about one of the options, like this idea that you talked about one time, what was this, top frame or?
I think your racket's set well. I wouldn't go into that's the thing, it's a minor, look at, to me, it's probably the biggest thing is like, again, when I watch your match, everything's directed here. It's the same as your backhand, right? There's no problems with your backhand. The problem with your backhand is, I see it 4 times a match, right? That to me is the problem with the backhand, just rep numbers, right? It's just like, when I watch you in practice, it's just rep numbers. I think instead of making technical changes right now, work on some specific shots, but also start working on applying pressure to people's backhand more. Let's move through it in a tactical way that also needs to improve, right? You need to improve your ability to play in this space and see if that helps us continue to clean up that move. And I'll tell you, the first day I ever met you, we talked about how you come off the side of the ball. So you haven't quite completely eradicated that from your forehand in certain places. In certain places you have. When I watch you in group sometimes, it looks clean as can be. It's rad, bro. You wanna work on, so look, we got limited time. Do you wanna work on penetrating the slice a little bit more? You wanna work on loading the forehand, or you wanna do a bunch of backhands?
I feel like backhand.
Let's do it, baby. Yeah, what I would tell you again on your slice is that, and I saw this when you were playing Jay, and I'm seeing it sometimes in group, it's just like, there's just too many, they're floating too much, right? So we gotta get some more penetration by just actively, consciously, just less of this arm opening move and more actively getting hand supination on the ball, right? Committing to that moment of working our hand on the back of the ball. 2, continue to work at the different levels so we texturize that move, because when I watch you play, it's still a lot of kind of like movement through where you're creating this sort of inside the ball slice, just kind of your default history on the slice. But the other thing is this too, and I'll tell you, when you have a camera up there, it makes everybody look slower, makes the whole game look slower, right? It's why they put it for the pros, is you go, I could actually hang with these guys. Then they go court level and you go, holy shit, right? So it's better than even I see in the video, but just continue to think about the idea of penetration with the slice, like penetration, you know what I'm saying? You see mine, right? Like that, just that penetration through the air. What's that? Oh yeah. Oh, you've hit some great ones. Just as a tone, we want more penetration and we want to continue to work through those levels so that you take it to another level that's not just that default look.